Okay, listen, pay attention, Africa. This is the history of the African women who stood face to face against the largest empire in the world and said, we will not be taxed. This is the history of the Aba women war. You see, they call it Aba women protest. Some call it Aba women riot. And they want to make it popular, Aba women riot. But we refuse to say it is Aba women war because it was a political, organized resistance against injustice. Aba women war. But when we're in a good mood, we call it Aba women protest because it's indeed a protest. You see, in 1929, the British colonial empire ruled Nigeria. They had the guns, they had the laws, they had the prisons. But one thing the British Empire did not have was the consent of the Nigerian women. You see, the British colonial officers decided that it was time to tax the women because the men were already taxed into exhaustion. So they wanted to count the women. They wanted to count their farms, their wealth. They wanted to count their livestock and their lives. That counting was an insult. Because in the southeastern part of Nigeria, counting a woman without her consent was perceived to be an act of aggression. So when the counting began, a warrant chief went into the house of a woman called Nwanyeluwa to count her property without her consent. The woman looked at the warrant chief in the eye and said, "Was your mother counted?" That question sparked a reaction. Within weeks, 10,000 women gathered all around the region. Farmers, traders, mothers, grandmothers, they rose. No arm, no gun, no foreign aid or support, just unity. The women used an ancient resistance method called sitting on a man. The women sang, the women danced, the women surrounded colonial officers. The women forced warrant chiefs to resign. The women shut down courts. The women publicly shamed injustice. The women mocked authority. The women opened prison doors. The British Empire were confused. They have never seen so much power without violence before. But guess what? The British Empire did the only thing that empires knows how to do. What is that? They opened fire. They opened fire on armless women. That day, 50 women fell. Many were wounded. Women fell. And that is the part of history that history always tells. But this is the part of the history that history most times fail to whisper. What is that? That what Aba women did led to the British to remove taxes on women. They forced and removed warrant chiefs. That day, the British rule on the eastern part of Nigeria permanently changed. It changed that day. Women, unarmed women, forced the largest empire in the world to retreat. Africa. What does this story tell you? This story tells you that Africa did not lack resistance. Africa did not lack courage. Africa did not lack strategy. What Africa lacked was that our story was buried. Our story was not told. Long before hashtag, long before social media, long before global feminism, we have always had women who stood face to face and confronted political colonial legacies. So when they want to tell you about feminism, tell them that feminism is not about a woman not cooking for her husband. No, feminism is not about saying no to everything right. Feminism is Queen Nyanga of Angola. Feminism is Ya Atansewa of Ashanti, who stood for our people. Feminism is Omu of Onisha. Feminism is Winamina of Zazu. Feminism is Makatiri Wamenza of Kenya. Feminism is about women. Political resistance without chaos. It is possible. African women proved it. Today, the modern day thank the voice of Africa. I tie myself in this traditional clothing fabric, respecting and remembering our women who made their end in 1929 in Nigeria, in West Africa. I say, power to the ones who fought for their rights. Power to the one who stood where. Power to the women who refused to give up. Africa, Wisdom is the principal thing.